Good evening, and I welcome you students for a very important topic, which is a very useful and important idea and concept which is written on the board. A lot of questions are asked on this also, and that
Lattice enthalpy students. What do you mean by lattice enthalpy? For example, student, if I consider NaCl, NaCl is an ionic compound. It is an ionic compound. And I can say that there is a sodium ion and chloride ion. But when crystal is formed, student, when sodium chloride is formed, what will happen? When we talked of the enthalpy of formation, we talked of enthalpy of formation. What is enthalpy of formation? That when 1 mole of a substance is formed from its elements in the standard state students, then enthalpy of formation means heat is evolved. What is that? Heat is evolved. We told you about the enthalpy of formation. Now I am saying lattice energy is the energy required to dissociate 1 mole of an ionic compound to its constituent ions in the gaseous state. In other words, students, what I am saying, you have sodium chloride, NaCl. This is solid. It is an
Yes,
ionic
sir.
compound. Ionic compound. If I want to dissociate student 1 mole of NaCl to its constituent ions. What are the constituent ions? Sodium ions in the gaseous state, Nag plus and Clg minus students. So you are dissociating into constituent ions in the gaseous state. That energy is called lattice enthalpy. So what do we call this as? Lattice enthalpy. You are very clear.
Yes,
These
sir.
sodium and chloride ions, they are held together by strong electrostatic ionic forces. Sodium ion is positive, chloride ion negative. So sodium and chloride ions, they are attracting each other. In the crystal lattice, you will see one sodium is attracted by 6 and one chloride is attracted by 6. So there is an attractive interaction between sodium and chloride ions. When you want to
Yes, sir.
dissociate, I'm saying when you want to dissociate 1 mole of sodium chloride, you will have to supply energy. And
Yeah.
that energy is called lattice energy if you are dissociating into gaseous ion. And here, this U is my lattice enthalpy. What I'm saying, U is my lattice enthalpy, students. And this is positive here, means energy is required to dissociate. And if I consider the reverse, if the reverse will happen, student, if sodium ion in the gas state will react with chloride ion in the gas state to form NaCl solid, then what will happen? Then same amount of lattice enthalpy, that will be negative in me. This much energy will be released, student. Equal amount of energy will be released, student, when NaCl is formed. So when NaCl is formed, enthalpy is released. Lattice enthalpy is released. When NaCl 1 mole you want to dissociate, then lattice enthalpy is positive. Therefore, what we are saying, the definition is clear. Lattice energy is the energy required to dissociate 1 mole of ionic compound to its constituent ion in the gas. It is a measure of cohesive forces that bind the ions. You say that magnesium chloride has higher lattice enthalpy than sodium chloride. What it means? For example, if I say here is my MgCl2, if I want to dissociate into 1 mole of it, I dissociate into gaseous ion. Then what are the ions which are produced? So it has a lattice enthalpy, positive, when I want to dissociate. And NaCl has this. Now, I'm saying the lattice enthalpy of MgCl2 is more than the lattice enthalpy of NaCl.
Yes, sir.
Dissociation, I'm saying dissociation enthalpy. Dissociation lattice enthalpy. If I do the reverse, then I know energy is released. Dissociation lattice enthalpy. That means the cohesive forces, that means the interaction between magnesium and chloride ion is stronger than the interactive attractive force between sodium and chloride ion. So it is relevant to the, it depends on the cohesive forces. It depends on cohesive forces. I'm saying cohesive forces. Cohesive forces means what? How much is the attractive forces between them? So it depends on the cohesive forces that bind the ion. Lattice energy is relevant to mechanical properties, relevant to many practical properties, including solubility, hardness, and volatility. The question is, what is the use of this? You put NaCl in water, it dissolves. I am saying take NaCl and add in water. What happens? It dissolves. It dissolves. But supposing you put lithium fluoride in water and it does not dissolve, then why we are saying that? That means the lattice enthalpy of lithium fluoride is very large as compared to NaCl, and water is not able to compensate for that energy which is required to break it. Energy is required to break it, student. When NaCl will be put in water, lattice energy will be required to dissociate them into gaseous ion. And then if that energy is released, hydration energy is sufficient, which can overcome the lattice energy, it will dissolve. If lattice enthalpy is very large, then hydration enthalpy is not able to compensate. We say it is not dissolving. Therefore, solubility, hardness. What do you mean by hardness? If the interactive attractive forces are stronger, students, what will happen? Then it will become hard substance. Volatility also means if the attractive force is strong, then it will not be volatile. If attractive force is weak, the substance will form vapors easily. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So lattice enthalpy is important. Now the question is, student, how will we determine the lattice enthalpy? How to determine lattice enthalpy? How will we determine the lattice enthalpy? I am saying you have sodium ion, you have a chloride ion gas, student, you are forming NaCl. How will I determine this enthalpy? Or similarly, this will be negative lattice enthalpy of NaCl, because this is formed. If I do the reverse, then I am saying sodium gas plus Cl minus gas, student, this will be plus. Energy will be required to break. Energy is released when compound is formed. How will we determine? It is not possible to determine it experimentally. It is not possible, students, to determine lattice enthalpy experimentally. Then how will I determine? How will I determine them? When you know that we have studied the thermodynamics, enthalpy changes, Hess law of heat summation. When we cannot determine something experimentally, students, we can apply. What we can apply? Can you tell me what we can apply? You have studied Hess law, yes or no? Hess law we studied in last lecture. Yes or no? Tell me, did we study Hess law of heat summation?
Yes, sir.
What it says, if a reaction takes place in one step or in many steps, the total enthalpy change remains the same. Enthalpy is a state function. Enthalpy, what we said, change in enthalpy is a state function. It is not dependent on the path. It only depends on initial and final steps. Therefore, students, experimentally, I cannot determine this. I will have to use indirect methods, or I will have to apply Hess law of heat summation. That if I know how NaCl will be formed from different steps, I can add or subtract the steps, student. using Hess law of heat summation to determine the enthalpy, lattice enthalpy of any compound. And that is why we have written here Born-Haber cycle. So Born-Haber cycle is a cycle, student, in which we will try to form NaCl from different steps whose enthalpies are known to us. And then we will apply Hess law to determine the lattice enthalpy of compounds by using what we call as a Born-Haber cycle. By using what we call as a Born-Haber cycle. Note down all this, then I proceed further. Important topic, very important topic, students. Born-Haber cycle, students, can be used to find the lattice enthalpy of the compounds by using and applying Hess law of heat summation. Hess law of heat summation. Once you will note down, students, then I will proceed further. Note down, then we will proceed further, students. Okay. Can I proceed further, students? Are you done with it, students?
Wait, sir, I'm writing.
Okay. All right, students, write down. Important. How to find the lattice enthalpy, students? By using Born-Haber cycle, we will determine the lattice enthalpy applying the Hess law of heat summation. We'll write down the different steps through which the process takes place.
Wrote it, sir.
All right.
What heading should I write?
Lattice enthalpy. We
Okay.
are determining lattice enthalpy. Experimentally, it is not possible. Therefore, we will use Hess law to determine the lattice enthalpy by using Born-Haber cycle. Now, the next question is, what are the factors on which lattice enthalpy depends? What we have defined what is lattice enthalpy. That is the enthalpy which is required to dissociate 1 mole of NaCl into its constituent ions in the gaseous state, or the reverse, when NaCl will be formed from its gaseous ions into NaCl solid, that same enthalpy will be released. Then it will become negative. Now, what are the two factors on which the lattice enthalpy depends? You said the lattice enthalpy of MgCl2 is more than NaCl. Why? It depends on the cohesive interactive force. So what are the factors, student? Here we are giving two main factors which affect the lattice enthalpy. First, I am saying the charges on the ions. Second, the ionic radii, which affects the distance between the ions. What we are trying to say, students, if the charge on the ion increases, charge on the ion increases, I am saying charge on the ion increases, then what will happen? Na plus is 1 unit positive charge, Mg2 plus is 2 unit positive charge. This charge is more. Tell me, this is plus 2, this is plus 1. So where the attractive force will be more? Tell me, where the charge is more? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
The higher the charge, student, if I say Al3 plus, this has a higher charge than Mg2 plus, and this has higher charge than Na plus. So here charge is higher. So the lattice enthalpy depends on the charge on the ion. Higher the charge, more is going to be the cohesive interaction between the ions. So lattice enthalpy should increase with increase in charge. Yes or no? So higher the charge, I can say that, student, higher the ionic charge, higher the ionic charge, more the attractive interaction, attractive cohesive force between the ions. So the lattice enthalpy will be more. Lattice enthalpy will increase, student, will increase, right? So lattice enthalpy will increase. There's the first thing. Second, I'm saying ionic radii. What do you mean by ionic radii? Every ion has a radius because you are assuming ions are spherical in shape. The smaller the radii, the more close are the ions, then the stronger will be the cohesive force. Number one. Second, I am saying, देखो, smaller the size of ions, what will happen? Then one ion is positive, other ion is negative. This distance is smaller, student, from the center. What will happen? The cohesive force will be stronger. Cohesive force will be stronger, students. If the size of the ion is smaller, then lattice enthalpy will increase. Yes or no? Tell me. Increases. The smaller the size of the ion, higher the lattice enthalpy. The more the charge of the ion, more the lattice enthalpy. Is it clear? Can you tell me yes or no? Are you with me, students? Do you understand what I said? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. So students, lattice enthalpy will depend on the charge of the ions and will depend on the ionic radii, which affects the distance between the ions. Higher the charge, smaller the distance, larger is the lattice enthalpy. For example, I am saying lattice enthalpy of magnesium oxide is much greater than sodium chloride. This question is given to you now. Lattice enthalpy U of magnesium oxide is more than lattice enthalpy of NaCl. What answer you will give, students? What is your answer? There are two factors on which it depends. Why the lattice enthalpy of magnesium oxide is more than the lattice enthalpy of NaCl, students? What answer you are giving? What is the charge on the magnesium oxide, students? देखो, magnesium is 2 plus, oxygen is 2 minus, Na is plus 1, Cl is minus 1. So this has more charge. The charge on magnesium ion is 2 plus, charge on sodium ion is +1. Therefore, the lattice enthalpy of MgO is larger than NaCO. Size of Mg2O plus is smaller than size of Na plus. So these two factors can decide the lattice enthalpy of the different compounds. Note down students. Note down. Note down students. Question 1. Question number 2 students. You are given NaF, NaCl, NaBr, Ni. Now the question is which arrange them in decreasing order of, we are saying arrange in decreasing order of lattice enthalpy. Lattice enthalpy. You have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question, students. What are the two factors I have given you? Use that. We have to apply these two factors, charge of the ions and ionic radii. In order to apply the question answer, student, these question answers are very important. You should be able to answer these questions. Here sodium ion is same. देखो Na plus is same in all this, but you have F minus, then you have Cl minus, you have Br minus and I minus. Charge is same. What is the size? This is smaller than this. This is smaller than this. This is the size of the ions. Tell me, is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Which is the smallest ion? F minus. And what it says, ionic radii. The smaller the size of the ion, more the lattice enthalpy. So what will be the order of this then? Decreasing order. NaF will have more lattice enthalpy than NaCl. NaCl will have more than NaBr and then NaI. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So the smaller the size, the greater the ionic charge, higher the charge density, student.
Yes, sir.
The attraction between ion is between the center of ion. So bigger the ions, bigger the distance between center of ion. Lattice enthalpy of cesium fluoride is less exothermic than Kf. If I compare CgF, cesium fluoride, student, it is the lattice enthalpy is less than Kf. Why? The size of cesium plus is greater than the size of potassium. This is the ionic size. So this size is smaller. Potassium ion is smaller in size than cesium. So therefore the cohesive force will be stronger, student, between K and F minus. Cohesive force is stronger because size smaller.
Okay.
Size smaller. Note down, students. Once you have noted down, I will proceed further, students. Once you note down, I will proceed further, students.
Okay, sir.
You have noted down?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay.
So can I go to the washroom?
Yes. As you can see, students, I am talking of only two important factors. One is the ionic charge. The larger the ionic charge, the stronger is the attractive interaction. Second, I am talking of the ionic radii. Smaller the ionic radii, the distance between the ion is smaller, therefore cohesive force is stronger. And therefore the lattice enthalpy will increase, students. These two factors are important for deciding the lattice enthalpy. As you can see, students, here we have shown the lattice enthalpy. You can see these are lattice enthalpy. We are giving the lattice enthalpy. As you can see, these are negative, means, students. Negative value means lattice enthalpy of formation of
No,
the.
sir, you can continue.
Okay, here is a graph, student, in which we are trying to show what are the two factors which affect the value of the lattice enthalpy. Here you can see this is 0, minus 600, minus 700, negative increasing. Below this will be positive. And this is kilojoules per mole. These are the units of lattice enthalpy per mole. This negative value means, student, when compound is formed, energy is released, lattice enthalpy. So here we are talking lattice enthalpy of the formation of compound, student. For example, if I consider here, if I go from here, student, this is F minus. I join this line, student. What it means? This is the lattice enthalpy of cesium fluoride.
Yes,
Then cesium fluoride is less negative, in terms of negative U. Rubidium fluoride, as you go, rubidium fluoride, lattice enthalpy more negative. Potassium fluoride, then sodium fluoride, and then maximum value is for lithium fluoride, negative value. So this has the highest lattice enthalpy. When lithium fluoride is formed, large amount of heat is released. You can see more than minus 1000 kilojoule per mole. And if I will dissociate it, then these values will become, the sign will be reversed. Why? Because the sizes of the ions here, students, see, sizes of the ions. Here the sizes of the ions, you know, cesium plus is larger in size than rubidium plus. Rubidium plus is larger in size than potassium fluoride. Potassium plus is larger in size than sodium plus. Sodium plus is larger in size than lithium plus. You know, this is group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, group 1 elements. You know what is group 1, student? In the periodic table, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. The sizes increases down the group. So as the
Okay.
sizes increases, the lattice enthalpy decreases.
Yes, sir.
This is one point here, which we told you. And here you can see, this is again, if I go to this side, students, if I go to the other side, I go from cesium to this point. What is happening now? You have cesium fluoride, lattice enthalpy more than cesium chloride, more than cesium bromide, more than cesium I minus. Why? Cesium is same, but F minus is smaller in size than Cl minus. Cl minus is smaller in size than Br minus. So as the size increases, what happens? Lattice enthalpy decreases. Is
Yes,
it clear
sir.
from here? Okay, note down, note down. So the two factors we have told you for the lattice enthalpy. One is the ionic charge, other is the size of the ions. Note down, students, note down. Now the question I told you how to determine the value of the lattice enthalpy. It is impossible to determine lattice enthalpy by experiment. We use indirect method we call Born-Haber cycle. For example, supposing I want to determine student lattice enthalpy of NaCl. ठीक है? I cannot determine it. I cannot determine it, student, experimentally. Then I am using a indirect method. I will use and apply Hess law of heat summation, which we studied, student. What I am trying to find, student, I am saying sodium plus gas plus Cl minus gas. When it forms NaCl, student, then this is a negative lattice enthalpy. Or when sodium chloride is dissociated into sodium ion gas plus chloride ion gas, student, this is lattice enthalpy of NaCl positive. Energy will be required to break it. Energy will be released when I dissociate it. How will I determine? We already know, student, enthalpy of formation of NaCl. Enthalpy of formation of sodium chloride, student. What is enthalpy of formation of NaCl? How do I define delta FH, student? Enthalpy of formation is the enthalpy per mole when 1 mole of a compound is formed from its elements in their standard states. What are the standard states of sodium? S. What is the standard state of Cl2? Cl2. I have to form 1 mole of NaCl, students. Then to balance it, this is half. Now this value is known to a student. This is called the enthalpy of formation of NaCl. This value is known to us. What I am saying, enthalpy of formation of NaCl is known to us when 1 mole of NaCl is formed, student, from its elements in their standard states. This value is known to us minus 411.2 kilojoules per mole. But we want to find this value. But we cannot do it directly. But I know when NaCl is formed, student, by any method, this value, enthalpy change, is a state function. This is constant. So I can try to form NaCl in many steps, not in one step. What are these steps? What are the steps, students? If you want to form NaCl, what steps will be required, students, for this formation? Tell me. If you want to form this, what steps are required? If I form it in many steps, student, what are the steps? First step is you have sodium.
Yes, sir.
In the solid, first you will have to convert it into gas, student. That is called enthalpy of sublimation, student, H. And this is positive value because you have to supply energy for sodium solid to gas, student.
Yes, sir.
You want sodium plus, then you have to supply another energy, student. sodium gas is there. You want to form sodium plus ion, student. What is that called? Delta ionization enthalpy. I'm putting standard values. Again, it is positive. Is it positive? Because energy has to be supplied to remove one electron, student. You are removing one
sir.
electron, energy will have to be supplied. So this is my step 1. Step 2, student. Now I have produced sodium ion gas. Now I need Cl minus. Where, what is the state of the Cl2? Cl2 is existing as gas, student. If I want to break it into Cl minus gas, student, I need 1. This is 2. I need 1, student. It is 2. To break it, you will need what we call as delta H dissociation enthalpy. So I will have to use half of this. So third step, step 3, this is my step 3. You will need, student, delta atomization, for which H half Cl2 I'm saying. This is also positive value because you will have to give energy to break the bond. Yes or no?
Yeah.
What will be then step 4, student? You have got this right now. You have only Cl2 to Cl, student, because you have dissociated chlorine gas, but you want Cl minus. What you want is here Cl minus 1 you want. Then how will you get Cl minus from here? What is we called electron affinity, student? Electron is added to the chlorine, you will get Cl minus. This will be delta electron affinity of this Cl, student, and this value is negative. Here, when you will add an electron, student, if you will add an electron, what will happen? Energy will be released. So this is called electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Now, student, what will be step 5? Step 5 is what, student? You have Na plus gas and you have Cl minus gas, student, and they will form NaCl solid. That is what you want. This is what you want, student. Clear?
Yes,
This
sir.
one. Then when 1 mole of the NaCl will be formed from gaseous ion, student, then energy will be released. That energy will be released here. What is this energy, student? When Na plus Cl minus will form NaCl, this is what you are calling, this is our lattice enthalpy, student. This is the lattice enthalpy of NaCl. Here, this value is negative because energy is released in the formation. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So these are the 5 steps. And if this is the 1 step. This is my 1 step, student, which I have indicated here for the enthalpy of formation. In other words, student, I am saying single step is, what is a single step for the formation of NaCl? We said NaS plus half Cl2 gas produces NaCl, student, solid. Okay? Which is delta enthalpy of the formation of NaCl, which value is minus 411.2 kilojoules per mole. So this single step is equal to 5 steps. 5 steps. What I am trying to say, student? What I am trying to say, if I add step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 plus step 5, this is equal to what I am saying, single step. This, if I call is step 6, single step 6, student, which is delta F formation of NaCl. Okay? Now, what is the value of step 1? Step 2, these values are already known to us. The sublimation energy is known to us. For Na to NaCl, the sublimation energy is positive plus 108.4 kilojoules per mole. What is step 2? When I go from sodium to ionization, this value is also positive, 496 known to me, student, this value. And then when 1 mole of half of this is broken, student, this value is also known to me. That is step 3. This is my step 1, student. Step 2, energy. Step 3, dissociation. This is also positive 121. Then step 4, student. In step 4, what happens? Energy is released, student. That is how much? Minus 348.6, student. And this is my step 5. Then what happens in step 5, student? Step 5 is my lattice enthalpy. Here, this is my lattice enthalpy minus U. ठीक है? Minus U.
Yeah.
The sum of this must be equal to delta FH formation of NaCl by applying Hess law. Whether reaction takes place in single step or in many steps, the total energy is same, minus 411. How much is that value? 0.2 kilojoule per mole. So students, by using this, we can calculate. By using this, all are known except U. We can calculate the value of U, which is the lattice enthalpy. Lattice enthalpy of NaCl. By use, this is called Born-Haber cycle. What we call this as? Born-Haber cycle, students. So once I put all these values, students, what I will get? This is the Born-Haber cycle diagram which we have shown, student. This is the cycle. This value is equal to sum of all these steps, sum of all these steps. And
Yeah.
by using this, students, we are getting the lattice enthalpy of NaCl. What we will get from here, students? Lattice enthalpy of NaCl. So using Born-Haber cycle, which I have shown on the top, and applying Hess law. Born-Haber cycle is applying Hess law, student.
Yes, sir.
Whether reaction takes place in single step or in 5 steps, the value will be same, student. We will be able to calculate the delta lattice enthalpy, student, for NaCl, which we are showing by lattice U, lattice enthalpy of these students. So if I have NaCl plus and minus, and if I dissociate, student, into gas, this value will come out to be, student, plus 788 kilojoule per mole by using this Born-Haber cycle. Or if I will form, student, 1 mole of NaCl, then what will happen? The same amount of heat will be liberated, student, minus 788 kilojoule per mole. Or I am representing this. How am I representing? Delta lattice H for NaCl. So if I in forming, student, then it will be negative. If I am breaking, plus 788 kilojoule per mole. How did I calculate? By using the Born-Haber cycle or Hess law of heat summation. Hess law of heat summation. Clear, students? So this is what we mean by lattice enthalpy and Born-Haber cycle. So then I will meet you in my next class, students, and we will start solving questions which are coming for G and other competitions for different chapters, whatever is in our course. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good night. Then I will meet you.
Good night. Good
Next
night,
class.
sir.
Okay.